Okay, now we are secure in our context. Let's get our Bibles ready for study and turn to Psalm chapter 104, verse 1 to 3. Give praise to the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are robed with honor and power. We just heard a song about how great God is. But let's read on to see why Yahweh is so great. Verse 2. You are clothed with light, as with a robe, stretching out the heavens like a curtain. In a small way, we understand this idea of light as clothing. Remember the appearance of Jesus at his transfiguration. Matthew chapter 17 verse 2 says, And he was changed in form before them, and his face was shining like the sun, and his clothing became white as light. If light itself is like clothing to God, what must be the amazing majesty of his actual being? Wow, imagine that.
Hi, I'm Bina, your Hebrew word helper. The word Samaim means heaven in the Bible, the area above the earth that looks like a big dome. It's where you see clouds, the sun, the moon, and the stars move on their circuit. Say the word with me. Samaim. Well done.
God says he stretched out the heavens like a curtain. Imagine the curtain on your window at home. When you pull it open, it spreads out wide. That's kind of what God did when he made the sky. Of course, the sky isn't really made of cloth, but this is a simile, a way of helping us picture something. The Bible also uses the word Raqia, which means something hard that has been hammered out. It's another way of saying God made the sky strong enough to hold back the waters above, while we live here below. Isn't it cool how God used things we understand, like curtains and hard metal, to help us imagine how he created the world? Psalms chapter 104 verse 3. The arch of your house is based on the waters. You make the clouds your carriage. You go on the wings of the wind. Have you ever seen a big, strong house? One with tall pillars or big beams holding it up? Guess what? The Bible tells us that God's house has something kind of like that too. Some versions of the Bible say arch, others say beams, and even pillars. These are like the strong parts that hold up the roof of a house. But here's the amazing part. God's house isn't just standing on the ground. Nope, it says these beams are based in waters. Pretty cool, right? God's world is full of wonder, and his house is unlike anything we've ever seen.
Do you know what the Hebrew word for waters is? It's mayim. Repeat after me. Mayim. That's the word people used in the Bible in ancient times, when they were speaking Hebrew, the language many parts of the Bible were first written in. Mayim means water, like the oceans, rivers, rain, or even the waters above the sky that the Bible talks about. When you hear Mayim, think about the amazing waters God uses in his creation. Repeat after me, Mayim. Well done. Over to Kalea.
Thank you, Bina. Whoa, that's not something we see every day, right? It's not exactly what real buildings look like, but the Bible uses this picture to help us understand something big. God's house is powerful, special, and full of mystery. So even if we can't see God's house for real, the Bible gives us clues, kind of like a beautiful story, to help us imagine how awesome and amazing it is. Did you know? God's amazing home is way up high, above the sky, and it's surrounded by special waters. The Bible tells us that his heavenly home rests on these deep waters. It stays strong because God is super powerful. Some people wonder, could God be showing us a hint? Maybe heaven is held up by the firmament. That's a special word the Bible uses for the sky dome above us. What we don't see in the Bible is talk about outer space, with black holes and galaxies zooming around. That kind of space stuff isn't part of the picture the Bible gives us. Instead, the Bible tells us God lives in heaven. It's up above, supported by waters, and maybe even resting on the firmament. Isn't that amazing to think about?
Hey there, let's learn something cool about words in the Bible. Sometimes the Bible uses pictures or comparisons, like when it says something is like something else. That's called a simile. Or it might say something is something else to help us imagine it. That's a metaphor. But other times the Bible just says it straight, not as a picture, but as a fact. It uses a little word called the. That word is called a definite article. That sounds fancy, but it just means the thing is real and specific. For example, when God says, "I'm the Lord," he doesn't mean just any Lord. He means the one and only Lord. So when we read something in the Bible that uses the word "the," it's telling us, hey, this is the real deal. Pay attention. Isn't that awesome? Words can help us understand big things in small ways.
Did you know that the Bible gives us a special picture of how God's amazing house is set up? In the Bible book of Amos, we get a further understanding about where the arch rests upon. Amos chapter 9 verse 6. It is he who makes his rooms in the heaven, basing his arch on the earth, whose voice goes out to the waters of the sea and sends them flowing over the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. This verse is giving us a big clue. It means God's arch or dome covers the whole earth. It's like a giant roof called the firmament. And guess what? That firmament connects heaven and earth, just like an elastic band holds things together. Here's a fun fact. The city of Venice is built on water, with over 100 little islands and more than 400 bridges holding it all together. Just like Venice has water under it and strong bridges above it, God built heaven with waters below and firm foundations above. God is super powerful. He can do anything. He's not stuck by limits like we are. And everything he made, including you, is special, full of his love and light. So remember, you're living in a world built by God, connected to God, and loved by God.